Here we go. Welcome everybody to Koilel Shira. Welcome and thank you everyone for joining us today. And we're learning beautiful Likutei Halachos, Chaim, Hilchos Beis HaKnesses, and we're doing Halacha Beis today. Right. So the Shulchan Aruch says, Machru Teva, Yiknu Mitpachas. If you sell a Teva, if you sell the bima, you sell the bima, so you could buy the coverings for the Sefer Torah. Maftachas, you could cover it. You could buy different things. You could buy other things. You have to go up in the kedusha with that money.
There's a list in
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a list. Exactly. We're gonna go through that. But he's quoting the Shulchan Aruch right now. Aval ha'hepech, right? Okay. Aval ha'hepech loy malin b'kodesh v'loy meridin. But you can only go up in kedusha, but you don't go down.
Like for example.
So you wouldn't sell a Sefer Torah to buy an Aron.
Oh, okay.
Right? You could sell an Aron to buy a Sefer Torah.
Yeah.
You can only go up in kedusha.
Now you could sell a Sefer Torah to buy a shul, to buy a building.
No, that's questionable. That's questionable.
We'll
get to that. That's not the part of
the top.
Right.
What do you do after that?
We're going to discuss. Right. Okay, we're going to discuss it. Okay, now Tashmishe kedusha nazin. Tashmishe kedusha, things I've used for kedusha. You are nignas. You bury them. You're nignas. Like you do, it becomes shemus.
Yeah.
Right. So like for example, if you had a mantle for a Sefer Torah, which is Tashmishe kedusha. You will bury that. You don't throw that out.
Oh, no.
But now about Tashmishe mitzvah nizrakin, but Tashmishe mitzvah you can throw out. Tashmishe mitzvah, a lulav, right, and things like that, which are Tashmishe mitzvah. Now somebody wouldn't throw the lulav out; they would throw maybe the basket out, the little basket you hold the things. Because that's part of the mitzvah itself. You can use it for another mitzvah, burn your chametz with it, and so on, like the wicks from the menorah and all of that. Yes, yeah. Ki hayirida, here you got everyone has okay. Ki hayirida hi tachlis aliyah, because the whole point of an yerida, we learned this concept before. Yeah. The whole point of a yerida is to have an aliyah. Right. We always go down. We go down. We have yeridas. Yeah. Only to get us back up. Yeah. To get us back up. We're gonna explain it so nicely now. It is not. Oh, this is halach aleph. Okay. Slicha. Okay. Okay. Can read the tachlis aliyah? Can move with the yarn. Okay. Ala pasik. Va'ayeh hasel lo'ila. Va'ayeh hasel lo'ila. So where was that said? That was said by Yitzchak Avinu, right? By Akedas Yitzchak, right? By Akedas Yitzchak. Yitzchak said, "Va'ayeh yaseh lo'ila." And it's so remarkable how Yitzchak was the one that said, "Va'ayeh yaseh lo'ila." We're going to see why in a minute. Now, because if somebody is a Jewish person, is on a level, and he falls down, he goes down, and he goes down. And until he finds himself in a place of disgust, he finds himself in a place that's not becoming befitting for him to be at. But at that place, like we say in Kedusha, right? Where is Hashem's covet? In other words, the person, we have many times Jews, they travel around the world, and they'll go to Tibet, and they'll go to these different places they're trying to find themselves. Right? They have a lot of times, even the Chayalim, they'll do that, right? Yeah. But when they do that, at one point they may say to themselves at one point, "Oy, what am I doing? What am I doing over here? I'm a Yid. What am I doing over here?" And that's the Ayeh Mekayim Kevayday. That's when they do that. When they make that thing, I know everyone has a point that they won't go, that they feel, I went too far.
Yeah.
That breaking point. Everyone has a, okay, this I could do, but this I won't do. This I'll never do. But if that person realizes he did something, that he crossed his own line. We all set a line for ourselves. I could do this, I can get away with, but this I won't get away with. But if we cross that line, our own line, that we said I'm not going to go, and then we say to ourselves, "Aye mekayim kivaydei," right? Machma shesham nisla v'nela miyayid hu yizbar, because in that place Hashem is very hidden. See, Hashem is everywhere in the world, even in those crazy places in India and in Tibet, all those places. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there. His elikus in everything in the world. So now, he can connect to the elikus in that place. When he says, when he feels that longing for Hashem, he feels he's lost. He feels he's lost. He feels a devekis. He wants to connect to Hashem. That connecting to Hashem in that place is the tikkun. In that exact place is the tikkun. Now, and that's how he can reconnect himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because we know that zidonius nasius kizuchuyas, a person does tshuva meyahava, right? The Gemara says, if a person does tshuva meyahava, the zidonius nasius kizuchuyas, right? The iniquities can be transformed into merits. How can that be? How can an iniquity become a merit?
You mean the Averis?
The Avera, iniquity.
The Averis become
a mitzvah. How could that be? Because the whole point was to get him to come to this point, to do the tshuva, me'ahava. He realizes, wow, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he comes to a point of loving Hashem, not fear. The fear is when a person does tshuva meira, so that it just wipes them out. It doesn't turn the aveira into a mitzvah. But the whole point, we know that one of the first mitzvah in the Torah is tshuva. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made tshuva before the world. Tshuva was kaidem abriyas ha'olam. Hashem had this idea of tshuva. So the whole point of us to come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is through tshuva. So if a person affects tshuva, he comes to tshuva, all of those things that he did wrong along the way, all of those things brought him to that place where he crossed his line at that place. Because until now, he never would have came back. Because he thought he was doing okay. He thought he was coasting. Everything was good. When he did this one thing wrong, he realizes I wasn't banking correctly. I was making a big mistake. And then he realizes all the other things he did wrong till now were wrong, and he makes tshuva on everything.
Because he realizes.
Now, because he says, because those places, of all the places of impurity in the world, they have their chiyas, they have their existence via this idea of aye mekayim kivayday, aye. We're going to see now. Shahu HaKavod Elyon, that's the Kavod Elyon. Ayin Sham Heitev Kiyu Inyan Dak V'Amuk. So now look, it's very apropos that Yitzchak Avinu says V'Aye Yaseh Lo'ila, right? Because Yitzchak Avinu, we know Yitzchak is the midah of Gvura, Yitzchak is Din, but Yitzchak's name, Yitzchak Tzchoik, his name is laughter. His name means laughter. So it's very strange. Yitzchak's name means laughter, but Yitzchak is din. Why? So we learned that Yitzchak Avinu sees right through the din, and he knows that the din is really truly chesed. But only Yitzchak can do that. Only Yitzchak understands that this pain and suffering I may be going through at this moment, he sees the end game of it. He sees why this is going on. He understands it, and he understands that this thing is actually a chesed. But only Yitzchak can do that. So Yitzchak Avinu could say, "V'ayeh yaseh lo'ila," and he goes willingly. And Yitzchak goes willingly. V'ayeh yaseh lo'ila, and Avraham Avinu says to him, "You're the oila. You're the oila."
Yeah, but you can read it the other way. Hashem yireh lanu
lo es haseh.
Haseh.
Yeah.
So, but there was a say there. At the end, there was a say.
Of course, but Yitzchak Avinu didn't know that at the time he was walking.
No.
And the time when Avraham Avinu tied him onto the Mizbeach, he didn't know there was going to be a set.
Yeah, but Abraham never said anything that wasn't true.
Of course.
So when he said Hashem Yireh Lanu Es
It's a
Haseh,
set.
that means there will be a set.
Okay, but Avraham Avinu was prepared, and he had the knife in his hand. He was going to shech Yitzchak.
Yeah.
Right? He was going to do
He
that.
said,
Of course. No question about it. Of course. So okay, now we know that you need the Yerida in order to have an Aliyah. Right? Like we said, if you want to jump up high, so what you do is you first crouch down a little bit, and then you could spring up. You need a Yerida, L'tzayrich and Aliyah. Who rak b'olam hazeh is only in this world. Yeah. Only in this world you have a Yerida, L'tzayrich and Aliyah. Shu olam asiyah, because this is the world of doing. This is the world we have to do things. Shu mole klipas. This, yes?
It's a diving board. You go, you run up, and you spring down.
You spring down, and you go. It's the same idea, same concept.
You go down.
Anytime you want to go up, you have to go. You go down, and then you go up.
Prior to.
Exactly. That's the mashal for the nimshal.
Right, yeah.
Right? The nimshal is you want to get up in kedusha. So you have to have the Yerida in order to get up there. And that's why we have things in physicality. We do the same thing. We go down to go back up. Now, Sheyaf Shel Alais, Ki Im Al Yedei Yeridas, we can't go up unless we have Yeridas. Ki Beloizeh, without this, Yia Olav Kitrugim. Without this, you would have Kitrugim. Without this, in this world we have what? Oh, Kitrugim. We have obstacle, opposition. We have opposition. Yes, Rabbim, Manias Rabbis. We have many different things, obstacles coming in our way, causing us not to follow with the Ratzon Hashem. We go into those places of the klipas. We go down into those places specifically. La'achniyam b'mekaymam, we want to subdue them in their place. Limsaya sham daika oisay is brought to find Hashem specifically in those places, in those crazy places. Bechinas Yerida tachlis aliyah. V'oz oila levetach b'li meineya. But then when we find HaKadosh Baruch Hu in that low place,
Right.
it will come up and we won't have any more of those miniyas. Because in the end of time will be only Kedusha. When Yemaisa Mashiach will have Kedusha. As HaKadosh Navi, the Nevi'im taught us and they promised us, the Ruach of Tumah will leave the world. V'yispat l'kol klipas, and all the husks of impurity will be batal, will be nullified. V'yaz yalu midarga l'darga mechaya l'chaya b'li yerida, and then we'll be able to go up from one level to the next without any levels. We'll be able to just keep moving up.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have to be in the real world right now.
But now we're in the real world. But we're saying what the Rebbe is teaching us now, what we could look forward to. Okay, kamuvan b'mayma Rabbi Yochanan Mishtoi Chazina Kavra the Apik Reishe Mimaya. There was a certain fish that took his head out of the water. V'damya Einav Kitrei Sahari, and his eyes had the appearance of two moons. Shtickle in the Zayah. Ayin Shamheit. Okay. Ayin Shamheit. Baklal. Vayotzi Misham.
The footnote that says whoever wrote the footnote.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what it means. Chazina kavra. I saw a fish. That's the kavra is the fish, right? And that's the translate. Okay. Shema shetzarech hatzadik levatal midei kusay hurak bo'ilam hazeh. Right. We said last week we were learning this idea with Moshe Rabbeinu that he's mevatel himself. He's mevatel his limud HaTorah in order to advance and help everybody else. He has to have that bittul. Machmas. Anonin the mechasin aleina, because of those ideas of the clouds that are covering over the eyes. We'll see in a minute. Kidei shelo yizgabru chas v'shalom yizbatlu mikol v'kol. In other words, if the tzaddikim in this world would just constantly learn and not take any break at all, it would not work out good for them. because you need in this world to have the Yerida in order to go up higher.
Right.
They cannot keep moving on.
Right,
they have to do something simple. They have to do something that's not involving them in Torah, so to say.
To bring them higher.
Exactly. Avalosid lava, she is batlu anonim. But in the future, those clouds, which means the Yeridas, will be gone. Then they wouldn't have to be mevatel. We don't have to be mevatel ourselves from the Vegas. It's just explaining what's going to happen in the Yemaisa Mashiach. Why?
Yeah.
Now we have to have a Yerida to go up to have an Aliyah.
Right.
But in the future, when all of the impurity will be left, will be gone, so then we'll be able to constantly go up without having to worry about going down. And that is the whole idea of why we have a Yerida is l'tzayrech an Aliyah. Ki kishat tzadik mevatel medvei kusay hazayu bechina sahara kimevay sham. When the tzaddik is mevatel himself from his learning, he's like the moon. You know, the moon waxes and wanes, right?
Right.
So in other words, sometimes it's full, sometimes it's low, it's small, right? Shezeu Yerida Etzlai. So that's like when the moon is small, and that's the Yerida for the tzaddik. Avalu l'tzarech aliyah, but it's only there so he can get larger again. You know, Klal Yisrael, we're compared to the Levana. Why? Because we have to have Yeridas and we have to have Aliyahs, and we have to remember when we have an Aliyah, that Yerida is gonna come down, and we're gonna have the Yerida again. But it happens again every single time. Avalu l'tzarech aliyah ki achar kach nischadei sichlai umase yosem mibatchila. Because after he relaxes himself from his learning a little bit and he gets a little fresh air, he takes a nap. But then his mind is much more rejuvenated. It's much more prepared to be able to advance much further.
Right.
All of this is only in this world, only in the physical world. That's the way we are. Right at night, you go to sleep, you're tired, right? And you get up in the morning, you feel refreshed.
Right.
You feel rejuvenated. You can start again, right? You can't just keep going.
Yeah.
If you try to keep going, your personal can't get it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in the future, any day now, those things will be batal. We won't have to have that Yerida anymore. And that's why we say we're malim b'kodesh. We go up in kodesh v'loy meridin. That's talking about the time of Yemaisa Mashiach. That's talking about the time of the end. There'll be malim b'kodesh v'loy yeridin. We won't go down. We'll only go ki tashmishay kedusha. Heim remez al b'chinas alma da'asi. The tashmishay kedusha. That's hinting to the future world. Sheyeh kulei kodesh kulei tayv. That when Yemaisa Mashiach in the Eilam HaEmes, everything is Kulei Taiv and Kulei Emes, of course, and in Emetz Hashem in the Yemaisa Mashiach, even in this world, we'll see it'll be Kulei Taiv. And that's why when it comes to Tashmishay Kedusha, not Tashmishay Mitzvah, we're going to explain Tashmishay Mitzvah, the difference.
Yeah.
That's why when it comes to Tashmishay Kedusha, we go up, but we don't go down. It's similarly the same way when in the Yemaisa Mashiach, when and then we'll be able to go up without going back down. Kisham hu aliyas b'li yeridas, because there you have aliyas without yeridas. B'zeh bechinas tashmishay mitzvah nizrakim. Now, we said tashmishay mitzvah. You don't have to bury it. You can discard of it. Tashmishay kedusha nignazin, but tashmishay kedusha we have to be nignaz. We bury it.
Yeah.
Ki tashmishay mitzvah bechinas malchus. The tashmishay mitzvah is malchus. What's malchus? Malchus is the lowest of all of the midas, right?
Yeah.
You have chesed, gevura, tveres, netzach, chayd, yisoid, and malchus, right?
Yeah.
Malchus is the lowest, but malchus also encompasses the other six above it.
Yeah.
K'maisha kasav, kol mitzvaysecha tzedek, b'tzedek malchusa kadisha, right? B'chinas zo yesh aliyas v'yeridas. When it comes to tashmishay mitzvah, you're always going to be yeridas and aliyas. There will be yeridas and aliyas. Kilapamim niktan b'nitzamseim b'chinas hamalchus. Sometimes it'll get smaller. It'll be like malchus. V'yoyred l'madregas hatachtainas afilu midar klibas. And those things can go sometimes, tashmishe, but they can even fall down into lower places. Beside the malchus, bekol mashallah. But we know malchusai, bekol mashallah, but Hashem's malchus, bekol mashallah. It rules everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's why aye is the thing, is the meat, is the force that gives life to all of those places beside Ani Rishon Vani Achrain, that Hashem is the first and the end, and the end, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in the highest place of Keser, and is in the lowest place of Malchus. Like Keser is the highest one, and Malchus is the lowest one. Ani Rishon Vani Achrain.
Yeah, it all encompasses everything.
He explains, Ki Malchus Baroish Malchus Basayf, because there's a Malchus in the top, Baroish, and there's a Malchus Basayf. Why? Because we said Malchus encompasses everything.
Yeah.
Malchus encompasses everything above it. It's like a cup. You have all the things stacked up, but the cup is surrounding everything.
Everything. The cup is on the bottom. Well, the bottom of the cup is on.
But the
whole
interior,
thing.
and that's how Malchus is.
Why is he learning halacha from the Zohar?
What?
It looks like all the citations here. Looks like they're learning halacha from the Zohar.
But not learning halacha. He's explaining he's showing you from the Zohar how the Zohar connects and how it teaches from these halachas and what you can learn out of them. How would anyone ever understand from reading the Shulchan Aruch by itself that you are malin b'kodesh v'lo meridin? How would anyone understand? How does that pertain to our life today? How does that pertain to me and you?
We already have the Gemara, so we don't really need the Shulchan Aruch. The Gemara already explains that at length.
Oh, but we need the Shulchan Aruch because that's what we don't really paskin halacha from Gemara.
The Gemara explains at length what it means.
The Gemara explains it, but we paskin only from Shulchan Aruch.
So we don't.
No one paskins halacha from the Gemara.
I know, but do we need the Shulchan Aruch to restate what the Gemara has already said?
But that's exactly what they do. In other words, the Shulchan Aruch goes over, takes everything out of the Gemara and puts it into a practical measure of how we can use it. Because in the Gemara we have all those different machlekes, and who paskins like who and who. So the Shulchan Aruch defines for us what we can do. So now the fact that the Shulchan Aruch explained to us this thing that the Gemara taught us, it's not a chiddush. The Shulchan Aruch didn't come up with a chiddush. The Shulchan Aruch is just defining for us what the law is.
It's just that with these citations, it seems to me that learning halacha from the Zohar.
He's not learning the halacha, he's explaining the
Why
halacha
we do the
via the Zohar.
why
He's
we
explaining it, he's explaining it. He's not learning it from there. He's explaining how these things, how they connect. Hainu.
Why we do it?
Yeah,
The
Hainu.
background of it.
Shebechinas Malchus. Listen, like we said before, the Torah is a paradis. You have Pshat, Remeth, Drush, and Soid. So unfortunately, most people only get to see sometimes Pshat.
Yeah, just the plain.
Remez, Soid, most people don't get to see. So when you learn a sefer like Reb Nosson understood paradis better than anybody else. So Reb Nosson is teaching us, showing us how the beauty of the Zohar, how we can connect to it on our level, on a level that we can connect to, and how we can make it to pertain to the halacha. That's what we're doing here. And you weren't here in the beginning when we started. The whole idea of Lakutei Halachas, what Rav Nosson did for us, was to show us the beauty of halacha. Is it not to think that the Shulchan Aruch tells you to do this, and it's not arbitrary. I have to do what the Shulchan Aruch says, and this is the reason why. I'll give you a little background behind the halacha, why the halacha is that way.
It's not just dry.
Exactly, and that's what Rav Nosson is doing for us. He's showing you when you see halacha how to look at something with a new pair of eyes, how to see the beauty in the halacha. All right, let's see now. Now, okay, Hainu. Let's say hi. Yeah, Shebechinas Malchus Shorsha Bekeser, Shul Bechinas Aye. So go again. Here we go. So we have Keser, right, and then we have that's the low the upper the upper we have right we have those are the upper spheres, and then the lower one is Chagas. We have Chabad Chagas, right? Chabad is the upper one.
Chabad's under Keser?
What?
Chabad comes from
Yes.
under Keser.
Yeah, you have Chabad and Chagas.
What's Chagas?
Chagas is Chesed, Gevura, Tveres, Netzach, Chayd, Yisrael, and Malchus.
Under Chabad. Chabad's a,
No, Chabad is the 3 on top, and then Keser is above everything.
and then Chagas is under
Chagas is the 7 lower ones. You have 7, 3, and Keser. Okay, and the Malchus, even which is the lowest one,
level.
encompasses even the Keser.
But it incorporates part of it in all the other areas.
It
The
incorporates Malchus encompasses all the other spheres. Yes,
It's distributed all over these spheres.
it's not that it's distributed; it's included in.
It includes.
Let's see.
It's new to me. I'm trying to learn it.
Okay, we're going to see. So let's see where Rav Nosson teaches us. Keser Zhu Bechinas Aye. So Keser, Aye, we said, is the lowest place, right? When a person when a person winds up finding himself in that low place, that's the Aye. And we said Ani Risha and Vani Achron, right? We learned that, right? Ani Risha Achron. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Aye Mekayim Kivoidei, which is that low place, and he can connect to the highest place. Because the same way, let me give you an example like this. You know, if you take, there are different levels of soldiers, right? Some soldiers can just do basic battle, but then there are some very highly trained soldiers that can go into very, very dangerous situations and are prepared to how to deal with it. But others can't necessarily do that, right? Like we have the Navy SEALs, right? So those guys are trained they have much deeper training than any regular soldier, and they do special missions, right? So we're saying I'm just giving you a little bit of understanding how this works. So the greater a tzaddik is, right, the more training, so to say, that tzaddik has, is the lower things he can deal with, and not be affected by it.
Yeah,
because he's exactly. So the highest is always connected to the lowest. That's the concept. High is connected to low. So the higher you go, the lower you can go.
Yeah, that's right. Because you can't.
But it's not the other way around. The lower you go, you can. You can. That's what we're learning on some level. Because when a person goes to Aye, and he realizes that it's Aye Mekayim Kivoidei, and he realizes even Hashem is here, and he didn't realize that. He thought he was running away from Hashem going to Tibet. He thought he's running away, but he realized even Hashem is in that place. So then that can bring in, there's so many stories of these guys that went to these places. Of course, but even in modern time today, there's so many guys, they go to these places and they wind up making tshuva from going to these places. It's fascinating. It's mamish fascinating. Okay. Kisayv Masab Mashav Tchila, like we're going to say in L'Chadaydi in a couple of hours, Kisayv Masa B'Machshava Tchila, right? So what does that mean? Kisayv Masa B'Machshava Tchila. Many times we prepare something. We plan something. We plan, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want this. I want to look exactly like this. But then when we finish it, it doesn't always look, it may look nice, but it doesn't always look exactly the way I want it to look. It's acceptable, but it may not be exact. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we say, Saiv Masa b'machshava tchila. In other words, the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu envisioned it to be, Saiv Masa b'machshava tchila, it's exactly that way. There's no variation, there's no deviation. It's exactly the same way. Okay. Now, now. Ukishamalchus pastora vikatnus gomer, and when the malchus is on that low level, in the place of Aye, it's in that low level. Until it's even in those places to give life to those places of impurity that are full in this world. Aye daika bechinas Aye. Those azai daika hu bechinas Aye. That's Aye. Now, those places is this idea of Aye that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one giving them the chiyas. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu give chiyas to these things? Why? Because He wants everyone to do tshuva. The goal is Hashem wants every single Jew to do tshuva. He'll put us in situations to set us up to be able to do tshuva if we see the signs. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts that kedusha in these places so a Jew may come to those places and he can find Hashem even in those places. It's fascinating. Ki azai nistalkin amoichin ubayin eila b'taisves. Because then his mind that he had, his thoughts that he was doing before, all that was mistakes, leave him, and he can now have something new and better. Vein lo rak etzem chiyusa she'ein lo b'soid nekuda. Okay, b'shorish chiyas nekuda b'chinas ayah. This nekuda, this small point that there's the kedusha in that place, is this idea of ayah, is the idea of how a person can find HaKadosh Baruch Hu in those low places. Ki sham sharsha ki soid masa b'shavat chila, and that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu set it up in that way. The Saif Masa Machshavat Chila, Hashem wanted the Jew to come to that place, to be able to find him in that place. And that was the Saif Masa Machshavat Chila, because everyone looks at it, why did you make this crazy, this church and this thing and this, that? Who needed it? But Saif Masa Machshavat Chila, Hashem knew that there was going to be some Yidla that's going to come one day. He's going to come in that place, and he gives life force to that thing all that time, so that way that Jew can come back and make tshuva. Now, Nimsa, Shema shekosu sham b'divrei Rabbeinu Neira Yor b'Maimer Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Nachman wrote us in this Maimer of Rabbi Yochanan. We learned before that that there was the Maimer from the Zayah, that there was that fish that stuck his head out of the water, and it seemed that the eyes were two Yerechim, two Levanas, two moons, right? When the tzaddik is mevatel from his dveikus, any great person is mevatel from his dveikus, he's considered like a moon. And that's why the reason why Hashem made the moon, and we're nimshal to Levana, we're compared, the Jewish people are compared to the moon, because we're going to have the Yerida and we're going to have the Aliyah. Ki Sahara hu bechinas malchus, because the Sahara itself is malchus. Because malchus accepts from everything else too. So the sun, what the Levana gets its light from where? The sun. So the sun is the malchus. The Levana is the malchus of the Shemesh. Right. V'chol aliyas v'yeridas heim bechinas malchus. All aliyas and yeridas are this idea of malchus, because malchus goes low and malchus goes high. Ki bechinas malchus oila, because malchus goes up. V'yored lemadregas anal, it goes up and it goes down. It's both. So in other words, when a person is in that low place, he can connect to the high place, and if a person's in a high place, he can connect to that low place. Ki bechinas malchus oile v'yored lemadregas. Okay, lachniyam v'achar kach oile misham ki yadua. In order to subdue them. So many times we know tzaddikim, they'll go to these places, right? They'll go to these places and they'll try to subdue the klipa that's there. And that's what it means, aye. What does that mean? That they give life to those places. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that's giving the life force to those places. And that's what it means. The Yerida is the tachlis for the Aliyah. The Yerida, we go down in order to go back up. Tashmishe mitzvah nistalkin mitzvasam nizrakim. The tashmishe mitzvah, when it leaves the mitzvah, right? When you're not using it anymore, the time's up for it. So you can throw it out. You could throw it out. Kisham yesh bechinas istalkus hakedusha, because there you have the exiting of the kedusha. The kedusha leaves it. You don't need it no more. Sometimes it's okay. Aval tashmisha kedusha nignazen, but tashmisha kedusha you can't throw out. It never loses anything. Tashmisha kedusha you can't throw out. You have to bury that. Because that's compared to the next world, right? We said the same way. Let's review one more time. We say that tashmisha kedusha is compared to la'asid lavai, where there won't be any more Yeridas. There's only going to be Aliyahs.
Yeah, so you can.
Right, so therefore, and that's why you can be Malim B'kaidis, but you can't be Myrid.
Yeah.
Right, so now we're saying that Tashmisha Kedusha, the Kedusha never leaves it, and therefore it can only go up, and therefore you have to, if you don't need it anymore, or it's damaged, you now bury it. It's Nignas. Aval Tashmisha Kedusha Nigdazim. Ki Heim Bechinas Ol Madasi Kulei Kodesh. It's only Kedusha. There's no Yerida. There's no Aye. See, in the Tashmisha mitzvah, there's the idea of Aye, that it goes down low. And then it is also connected to the eye. But when it comes to Tashmisha Kedusha, the mantle for the Sefer Torah, the things like that is only holy. It doesn't go down. That's like the next world, where there's only aliyas, there's no yeridas. Was Yerida Klal, because then there won't be any Yerida Klal. Teaching us. Notice, we're learning here now how we can understand the halacha. Why does the Shulchan Aruch teach us that when it comes to Tashmisha Kedusha, you have to bury it, and Tashmisha Mitzvah, you're allowed to throw it out. Notice, why should someone how could someone understand, I use this for a mitzvah, I made a bracha on this, how can I throw this out? But Tashmisha Mitzvah, I can't throw out. We're learning why. Because it ran out. It became an ayah. It went down low. It lost its value.
It has no kedusha.
Valkane, right?
It started out.
It started out, but it went down.
With nothing.
But now it went down.
And then you
You brought it up, but now it lost its value. That's it. That's exactly.
But because when it stopped, but let's say a pair of tefillin.
Right.
When they make the tefillin, it starts out kedusha.
Kedusha, and you can't never throw that. That's Tashmisha Kedusha.
What about the mantle for the
Sefer Torah, so that's considered Tashmisha Kedusha.
Why?
It's made for a Sefer Torah, and it's used on a Sefer Torah, so it can only go up in value.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like how about the?
Right. So even if you have, let's say for the Sefer Torah, you had silver, right? You have the crown, you have the atara, you have the pointer, right? These things. So if you could take all your silver and sell the silver to buy a Sefer Torah.
Oh yeah.
But you couldn't sell all of the silver to go buy a new bima.
Right, because
you have to go up in value.
A bima you could throw out.
No, a bima, but a bima, you could. The Gemara explains you could sell that in order to buy, let's say, an oren.
Yeah, you can't throw the bima out.
You shouldn't throw it out. No.
What about?
Well, you can take you could take a bima if it's rotted or something, whatever went wrong with it, got damaged. So you can use the wood in order for another mitzvah. Let's say to burn your chametz or something like that. You'll use it for another mitzvah. Right? Okay. But therefore we never throw them out. Ki ein bahem yerida, because there's never yerida in them. Now it makes perfect sense. In those things, there's never Yerida. It's like the Alma, the Asi, it's like the future world where there's only Aliyas and there's no Yeridus, and therefore Tashmisha Kedusha, you cannot throw it out. It only goes up in value. You can't throw it out. There's no Yerida. Arak Nizrokin, Nignozin, you only bury them. Vageniza, Hi Bechinas Kavura of Halama. When you nigna something, when you bury it, it's like kavura, it's buried. Right? And it's hidden. Halama. It's concealed. V'chein hadin be'emes likavram v'zeo gizinasam. And that's the din, that you have to bury them, and that's how you nignas it. You have to bury it. Right? We're familiar with that, right? Hainish etzarech legonzan ba'or agonas. You have to hide them in the hidden light. You put them in the hidden light. Shu are ein side baruch hu, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in there too.
Well, Hashem is everywhere.
Shu side kivura talmidei chachamim, and that's the site of the burial of the talmidei chachamim. V'sham hu nignasan, and that's where they're buried. Ki hakedusha nechleles b'kedusha al yoyne, because their kedusha. Ki HaKedusha Nechleles is included in the Kedusha El Yoina. The Kedusha, the Tzaddikim of the Kedusha of the Tashmisha Kedusha is connected to the Kedusha El Yoina. Ad lamala, higher and higher. V'zeu ba'atzme b'chinas malam b'kodesh v'loy meridin. And that's why we go up in Kedusha and we don't go down when it comes to Tashmisha Kedusha. Right? Tashmisha Kedusha, we're malim v'loy meridin. Ki aliyas eluheim b'li yerida, because those aliyas are always going up. You can never trade down. You can only trade up. You can't trade down, because it's teaching us, because it's only an aliyah, no yerida.
You can't throw it out.
You can't throw it out, and you can only trade it up. That's it. Ki lasid la yiyah shum yerida, because of Mitzvah Hashem, we're waiting for that day that there won't be any more yeridas. L'tzayrich aliyah. Rak yiyah kulei kaidesh, and Mitzvah Hashem, it'll be a time. They will come. It'll be a time of kulei kaidesh, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that time with Mashiach Tzidkenu to have that tikkun of the world, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take away all of the risha from the world, and all of the klipas and all of the taiv and all of those things will leave us. So Taka be able to be an aliyah without a yerida, and that's why Tashmishay Kedusha we are allowed to. We have to be nignazit. But Tashmishay Mitzvah is in this rocking because you used it for this, and now you didn't, and now it's gone. Okay, we should all have a beautiful Shabbos. Thank you for joining the shir. Okay, we finished this. Halacha Gimel. Okay, then we'll take our break. Yeah, if you want to, you can hold on to it. We learned tidbits of the Zayah.
Two words here.
What?
How does Breslov and Chabad, like the Tanya, whatever, like how do they relate? I mean, they're talking about Zohar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just.
Well, Tanya is known as really the 101 for Chassidus. If you really want
the early stuff.
Yeah, if you really want to understand anything in Chassidus, you really have to learn Tanya to have a background on it.
That's the first level.
Yeah.
Like the Malchus.
I use 101.
There's lower level.
Yeah.
I'll show you
What do you want to show me then?
two words here.
La'asid?
No. Included.
Nechlelas, yeah.
Included.
Yeah.
The English
Oh, included. Oh,
wait,
nechlelas,
look at
included.
this. Al-Mala, elevate.
Elevate, ma'ala, ali.
If you look through it, it's fantastic.
It's fascinating.
Thousands. Well, that's why Rachel said that book, 14,000 English words come from that
Okay, I mean, it's wonderful
that
that
they
a person
found
had
so
enough
far.
time, that a person had time to figure that out.
But it's mind-boggling if you